So yeah, in the last class we discussed population based on various factors, and today we are going to discuss about uh, the population based on literacy rate. Literacy rate. The people who are able to read and write are known as literates. It's an important indicator of quality of people. So we know who literates are, right? The people who are able to read and write are known as literates. It is an important indicator of quality of people. The percentage of literate people to the total population is termed as literacy rate. So the percentage of literate people to the total population is termed as literacy rate. There has been a steady improvement in the literacy levels in India. India's literacy rate as per 2011 census, the 2011 census is 74.04%. From this, the literacy rate of male is 82.14% and the female is 65.46%. It shows that still there is a vast gap of 16.68% between the male and female literacy rates. Kerala ranks first in the country with a literacy rate of 93.91%, followed by Union Territory Lakshadweep with 92.28%. The lowest literacy rate is found in Bihar, which is 63.82%. Occupational structure. The economically active part of a country's population is enumerated during the census operations and stated as workers. Occupation, someone who does work is called workers, right? Workers are placed under threefold categories in census record. They are main workers, marginal workers, and non-workers. Main workers, marginal workers, and non-workers. According to the Census of India, all those who had worked for the major part of the preceding year, at least 6 months or 183 days, are recorded as main workers. Those who worked for less than 6 months are recorded as marginal workers, and the people who have not worked at all comes under non-workers. Work participation rate denotes the percentage of total workers, i.e., total main and marginal workers to the total population in an area. So, in a population, how many people are workers? How many people can work? That is called as work participation rate. The work participation rate in India is 39.79% in 2011, out of which the work participation rate of male is 53.25% and the female is 25.51%. From the workers, main workers constitute 75.23% and remaining 24.77% of the people belong to marginal workers. Next, we are going to discuss about population dynamics. Human population dynamics is a field that tracks factors related to changes in the size of population. Human population dynamics is a field that tracks factors related to change in the size of population and its characteristics. Predicting population changes is an important aspect of population studies. The demographic trend affects the economic, social, and environment systems. An increase in human population can affect the quality of natural resources like biodiversity, air, land, and water. The size of population and characteristics undergoes changes constantly. These changes are reflected clearly in every other aspect of our country. Next, we are going to discuss about the most important topic, the problems of overpopulation. What happens if a region is overpopulated? In India, growing pressure of population on resource base created many socio-economic, cultural, political, ecological, and environmental problems. The population problems vary in space and time and differ from region to region. Some of the major issues created by the overpopulation in our country are overcrowding, unemployment, underemployment, low standard of living, malnutrition, mismanagement of natural and agricultural resources, unhealthy environment. The reasons for overpopulation are overcrowding, unemployment, underemployment, low standard of living, malnutrition, mismanagement of natural and agricultural resources, unhealthy environment. These are the main reasons for overpopulation. Next is urbanization. Urbanization means the process of society's transformation from rural to urban is known as urbanization. Alright? The level of urbanization of a place is assessed based on the size of population. The level of urbanization of a place is assessed based on the size of population of the towns and cities and the proportion of population engaged in non-agricultural sectors. These two are closely linked to the process of industrialization and expansion of the secondary and tertiary sectors of economy. So urbanization is a major reason for overpopulation. If a place is urbanized, most of the people they would like to go and settle in the urbanized areas, so that their source of income will be more. This is the reason. Next, we're going to discuss about the urbanization in India. The level of urbanization is measured in terms of percentage of urban population. The level of urbanization in the country has increased more than 3 times from 1901 to 2011. The percentage of urban population of India was 27.82% in 2001, and it rose to 31.16% in 2011. This shows an increase of 3% in a decade, just 3%. The level of urbanization varies widely among the states. Goa is the most urbanized state with 62.17% of urban population. Himachal Pradesh is the least urbanized state with 10.04% of urban population. Among the Union Territories, Delhi is the most with 97.50% urbanized region, followed by Chandigarh 97.25%. Among the major states, Tamil Nadu continues to be the most urbanized state with 48.4% of urban population, followed by Kerala with 47.7% and Maharashtra 45.2%. Now we are going to discuss about types of towns and UAs, OGs. UAs means urban agglomeration and OGs means outgrowths. Statutory towns in 2000, the towns are there which are which are urbanized. In 2001 it was 3799, the number of towns I'm talking about, and in 2011 it was 4041. Census towns 1362 in 2001 and 3894 in 2011. Urban urban agglomeration. 384 in 2001 and 475 in 2011. Outgrowths. 962 in 2001 and 981 in 2011. Okay, I'll explain you in depth. As per 2011 census, there are 7,935 towns, both statutory and census in the country. The number of towns has increased to 2,074 from 2001 census. In 2011, 475 urban agglomeration US with 981 outgrowths OGs have been identified as urban agglomerations as against 384 US with 962 OGs in 2001 census. Out of 468 US belongs to class 1 category. 53 US have the population of 1 million, and above each of these urban centers are known as million cities. So in certain cities which are over urbanized, the population is almost about 1 million. So these urban centers are called million cities. These are the major urban centers in the country, like I said. Among the million cities, there are 3 major urban agglomerations with more than 10 million population each and are known as, actually there are 3 extraordinarily urban cities which are more than 10 million population, which has more than 10 million population, and that is called as mega cities. Okay, because the population is more and it's almost more than 10 million population, it's called mega cities. Okay, they are Greater Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata. The 3 cities I mentioned, no, they are nothing but Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata. Alright, so now impact of urbanization. Urbanization and population concentration go hand in hand and are closely related to each other. A rapid rate of urbanization in a society is taken as an indicator of its economic development. So, how urbanization is impacting population? I'll tell you. Both urbanization and population goes hand in hand. They are closely related to each other. A rapid rate of urbanization in a society is taken as an indicator of its economic development. Okay, urbanization is increasing rapidly. Urbanization is increasing rapidly in the rural developing countries, including India. Okay, rural to urban migration leads to population explosion in urban areas. Metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Kolkata and Delhi have more population than that can accommodate. So there will be a level, okay, only this much accommodation can be done in a particular region, but what happens is more than that, more than the place that the people can accommodate, it will be overpopulated. Accommodation will be more, but the space will be less. Alright. The urban population of India had already crossed the 377 million in 2011, which is more than the total population of USA. By 2030, more than 50% of India's population is expected to live in urban areas. So by 2030, more than 50% of India's population would live in urban areas. The following are the major problems of urbanization in India. It creates urban sprawl. It makes overcrowding in urban centers. It leads to shortage of houses in urban areas. It leads to the formation of slums, slum areas. Yeah. It increases traffic congestion in cities. It creates water scarcity in cities. It creates drainage problem. It poses the problem of solid waste management. It increases the rate of crime. So these are the main problems of urbanization. Now itself, if you could see in urban areas, these problems are existing to some extent, but by 2030, since almost 50% of population would accommodate in urban areas, the problems will be the level of these problems would increase. Next is human development. Mr. Mehboob ul Haq defined as it is a process of enlarging the range of people's choice, increasing their opportunities for education, healthcare, income, and empowerment. It covers the full range of human choices from a sound physical environment to economic, social, and political freedom. Human development indicators. Human development indicators. Population trends, health outcomes, education achievements, national income and composition of resources, work and employment, human security, human and capital mobility, supplementary indicators, perceptions of well-being and status of fundamental rights, treaties are the human development indicators. We say human development, but what actually is human development? These are that. So, the health outcomes, education achievement, national income. Today, almost most of them are educated. Let me not highlight only engineers, but still, though we are educated, do all of the educated, do all the literates get job? No, it's a question mark. So that is the reason why the literacy rate is high, but the number of the workers rate is less. Do you understand? So when everyone should get the job, everyone should get education, everyone should get human security, which means even at 12 o'clock, women should have a freedom of walking on the road without any fear. So like this. Okay, and measuring of human development. Human development index is a composite index focusing on three basic dimensions of human development: health, life expectancy at birth; education, expected years of schooling for school age children and average years of schooling for the adult population; income, measured by gross national income and per capita income. Next, human development classification. So HDI classifications are based on HDI fixed cutoff points, which are derived from quartiles of distribution of the component indicators. The HDI of less than 0.550 is used for low human development. It's used for low human development. 0.550 to 0.699 stands for medium human development, and 0.700 to 0.799 for high human development, and 0.8 or greater for very high human, this is for very high human development. So this is about population. In the next video, let's discuss about transportation. Yeah, I told you what human development classification is. Actually, it keeps increasing only in decimals, because achieving all the development requirements is really difficult, right? Like they should achieve all these points that I said. Do you remember Yeah, these are the points that I said. So only when all these are achieved, the decimal will go higher. Yeah, this is about human development classification. Till here, the concept of population is over. Next, we are going to discuss about, in the next video, we are going to discuss about transportation. All right, thank you.